My Lord, on ingredients 1, 2, and 3. We relied on the evidence of PW1, Dr. Katongole Abudu, who examined the 4 deceased juveniles in its postmortem reports, which were attended in this honorable court as PE1, PEX1, PEX2, PEX3, and PEX4 respectively. He confirmed to this honorable court that he examined the bodies of Eteke Gideon, whose cause of death was a deep cut injury on the neck, again wrote Keisha Otim, whose cause of death was hypervolemic shock following a deep cut wound on the neck.
Can you repeat that, please?
Again wrote Keisha Otim, whose cause of death was hypervolemic shock following a deep cut wound on the neck. Selyange Ignatius, whose cause of death was a deep cut injury on the neck. And Odeke Ryan, who died of hypervolemic shock following deep cut injuries on the right side of the neck. My Lord, this evidence was collaborated with that of PW2, PW3, PW2, PW3, PW4, PW5, PW6, PW7, PW11, and PW14.
PW2, PW4, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 11, and 14. We are therefore convinced that the prosecution has laid overwhelming evidence, which is of course beyond reasonable doubt, on the first 3 ingredients of murder.
Okay, so let me get that. The prosecution has laid overwhelming evidence,
which is beyond reasonable doubt on the first 3 ingredients of murder. As pertains participation, ingredient 4, we relied on the evidence of PW6, PW7, PW11, and PW15.
PW6,
7, 11, and 15, my Lord.
okay.
My Lord collaborated with that of PW13, AIP Odong Emmanuel, who authored the CCTV analysis report. Which was subsequently tendered in this honorable court and marked PEX 9A.
Let's proceed.
We concentrated on the images of the accused person captured on 2nd April 2026 on the CCTV analysis report. The images are on pages 50 and 51. Furthermore, the flash disk of CCTV footages marked as PEX 9B contains a video of the accused person captured on the day prior to the incidents parking at Renewal Circle, which is close to the scene of crime. My Lord, this prompted us to believe that this heinous act was premeditated. The evidence of PW 17 also implicates the accused person, most especially in his forensic report which was tendered in this honorable court and marked as PEX 16. He concluded on pages 19 of 28 of the report, paragraph 18.
You concluded on which page?
On pages 19 of 28 of the report, paragraph 18. Putting the accused person at the scene of crime by virtue of the DNA examinations made on his sunglasses, shirt, black trouser, knife, vis-a-vis the DNA examinations he made on the bodies and clothes of the four deceased juveniles. With the above, we are convinced that the prosecution has also proved the fourth ingredient beyond reasonable doubt. In his defense, my Lord, the accused person said that he didn't intentionally cause the death of the four children. And that he was coerced to accept the charges. Furthermore, he requested this honorable court not to honor the prosecution prayer to convict him on the four charges of murder, because he contends that there are circumstances that forced him to act the way he acted on the 2nd day of April 2026. However, my lord, he didn't present any evidence to support his claim. Whereas in the evidence...
Okay, go slow.
Okay.
He was forced to act in the way he did on the 2nd of April
26.
2026.
However, he didn't present any evidence to support his claim. Whereas in the evidence of PW11, Dr. Nwamanya, who examined the accused person on police form 24, which was tendered in this honorable court as PEX7, he was absolutely clear that basing on his psychiatric
Okay, PF24 exhibit PEX7
was absolutely clear that basing on his psychiatric interview and personal mental state examination,
basing on his
psychiatric interview and personal mental examination at the time the accused was presented to him, he established that Mr. Onyum Christopher Okello had no established mental disorder. This collaborates with the evidence of Dr. Rogers Agenda, in his sanity assessment report, which was admitted on court record as PEX8A. We are therefore convinced that the accused person is mentally stable, as opposed to the evidence in his defense. My lord, the accused person presented the other two defense witnesses, but according to us, their evidence was not concrete enough to water down the prosecution evidence.
Their
evidence was not concrete enough to water down the prosecution evidence, my lord. My lord, in conclusion, we are convinced that the prosecution has proved all ingredients in the 4 counts beyond reasonable doubt. Prosecution has proved all ingredients in the 4 counts beyond reasonable doubt. We therefore advise this honorable court to convict the accused person in the 4 counts as charged. That's our humble opinion, Your Lordship.
Mr. Inomugisha, is this your opinion as well?
Yes, my lord.
Ms. Chovija Maria, is that your opinion?
Yes, my lord.
Thank you very, very much for being attentive. Let's have the interpretation, please.
Batutandika omusango guno kooti yafuna abantu basatu nga ba bulijjo tebaasoma amateeka okujja kuwuliriza obujulizi oluvannyuma bawabule kooti era bazze kuwa kooti ne bagamba nti bonna endowooza yaabwe eri emu oba efaanagana ne bagamba nti mu misango gino gyonna enna balina okugoberera ebintu biri bina. Ekisooka balina okulaba nti waliwo abaana bana abaafa nti ate okufa kwabwe kwali mu bumenyi bw'amateeka nti ate eyabata yali alina ekigendererwa eky'okubata ate balina okulaga nti omuvunaanibwa yeyaza omusango guno. Bonna awamu balowoozeza nti oludda oluwaabi luleese obujulizi obumala okulaga ebyo bina bye tuva kusoma era ne bagamba nti omuwaabirwa omutwe gwe gwali gukola bulungi oba yali talina bulwadde bwa bwongo n'olwekyo bawawudde kooti nti esange nga emisango enna gyonna nga gimusinga.
Mr. Okello, the assessors, 3 assessors have advised me to convict you. They have said that from their assessment, the prosecution has proved all the 4 counts against you beyond reasonable doubt. But like I told you from the beginning, their opinion does not bind the court. The court reserves the right and the power to make the final verdict. So I adjourn this case to Thursday 30th at 10 a.m. for judgment. The accused person is further remanded till then.
Omusango guno gwogezeddwayo okutuusa ku Lwokuna, kooti ew'ensala yaayo ku musango guno.